Welcome back to Rover's Rags to Riches. Look at this lighting. What a beautiful day. I've just woken up and we've caught the Gnome Lure ailment, which I'm not angry about, although it does look disgusting and really painful. However, it is a huge opportunity for us. We've already been battling with money, and if we play this right, we could make a huge profit from the plants. But it does come with a lot of risks. We could potentially burn everything down to the ground. Everything could go wrong. But we can do this. I totally have a plan. We're going to start with cereal, and then we're going to see, this is what happens. You get a little whiff, and that's how you know the gnomes are coming. Also, I'm going to throw up, but that's not from the gnomes. That I'm going to pretend is from our engagement party from the last video. Now our mate is already doing his thing. He's repairing and upgrading, which is great, but I am not prepared. So I've hopped over into Cass and I've given myself this cute little gnome makeover. I'm also going to change my aspiration to freelance botanist because I always forget to change it, and hopefully we can get some points for this. I look absolutely adorable. Our mate is in the background. So the gnomes, they can do all kinds of different things. This one is showing up and he's going to be doing upgrades on everything, which is great because our furniture is rubbish. But having these little upgrades is going to make things much easier for us. But you know, what we really want is the good gardening money. So there is a technique to this. What I'm going to do is, under appease the gnomes, even though he's happy, I'm going to do something that's inevitably going to piss him off. And then when we plead for forgiveness and he eventually gives in, which he does like straight away, this guy, he changes what he's doing. So he's now stopped doing repairs and upgrades and he's moved on to gardening, which is exactly what we want. Now watch this beautiful montage unfold. He's going to start going around and working his magic on the plants that we already have. Now I'm going to follow behind him and evolve each of these plants every chance that I get. This is going to keep him busy and it's going to keep him dropping all of these seed packets. We are after the rare seed packets. These are so hard to get. You have to go through the whole gardening career before you can buy them. But with him, we're going to get tons of them. And some of the plants we're going to get are going to be incredible. And if we play it right, we can get them perfect as well. We've just got to get the seed packets open and planted before his magic disappears and he becomes just a gnome in our garden. But then his mate shows up who's also gardening, so this buys us a bit of extra time. Now our plants are looking incredible. I open up my seed packets to see what we've got, and oh my gosh, look at this stuff, right? We've got dragon fruit, we've got the seed cut gemstones, which I get straight down because I want this tree magnificent in a day, and obviously it happens, and he's still dropping these seed packets everywhere. Look how many rare seed packets are in there. This is like the most OP thing in the game, and I am 100% okay with it. Oh, and then Liberty gives us a call. Do you remember yesterday when she was like, oh, that's Simon or whatever his name is? So they had a lovely day and that's nice. I, however, am not paying attention to that at all, and I am harvesting seeds like crazy. Now we have got 2 more of those, and I don't know if you spot that there. That is a cow plant seed. Yes, it is. So that obviously is going to get planted. I'll tell you now, it doesn't grow in this episode, which in a way is good, because it's going to give us some time to prepare for that situation. And we have so many plants now that we're probably going to have to actually splice them together so that it's not such a nightmare to look after them. So that gives us like a huge project to do. But obviously I just can't resist planting it anyway. So I head back to the garden and then, oh, it happens. The evil gnomes show up, 3 of them. So this is exactly what we didn't want to happen. I get to work trying to appease them and they just do not listen to me. Oh my gosh. I tried. Remember the first guy went so quickly, and I tried this over and over again. I did learn something from this though, is that you don't obviously get dazed moodlet when you're electrocuted by them. So you can do this over and over and over again until it finally hits. And I am begging, and they are just, oh, there it goes. So they destroy all of our plants, and if you click on them, it says dead. So all this excitement that we just had, where we thought everything was going to be amazing, now we're going to build our mansion, no, sorry, no. Although, don't lose all hope yet. There is a trick, and I am going to work at it to get us all these guys back. Bess, bless her, phones us up and she's like, I think you might be having a bit of a rough time. So she tries to make us happy and stuff. Our house is now like completely destroyed. Again, not an awful thing though, because remember, we have a dumpster. But these plants, this is tragic, and I'm genuinely like a bit upset. I remember the feeling of all of them going after the joy of having it. So I've now managed to appease the last gnome, but he is now apparently protecting us, which is completely useless, and we want him back to gardening. So I am forced to do this. I set him off again, and I'm begging for the appeasing, and I've done it to myself, and it's horrific, but I'm hoping that when he eventually turns good again, he's going to be working at garden. Liberty, leave me alone. I'm busy. More fighting with him, way more electrocution. Again, it takes ages, but when he comes back, he doesn't have his special skills anymore, and I cannot face ending today without having these plants perfect. This is what today was about. So I'm going to hop over to Fairyland, and I'm going to make some new friends. I go around and I beg absolutely everyone for fairy dust. I've never met these people before, but I'm like, oh, hey, I heard you're a fairy. Have you got some fairy dust? It's a problem that I have that I need fixing. And I'm just hanging outside a bar asking total strangers for fairy dust. And it feels like the most dodgy thing that I've ever done in the game, but I am absolutely desperate. Anyone, this blonde girl, who is she? I don't know. I didn't pay attention to her name. This cool rocker guy, he's probably got fairy dust. He looks like a dude who would be with fairy dust. I don't know. I do think he should immediately come back as our friend, though. He's definitely the coolest guy I've ever met until I meet this chick, Disco Fairy. Her and Rocker Fairy are the two coolest Sims I think I've ever seen, and I need them to be my friends. They also give me the last bits of fairy dust that I need for the final stage of our day. So I head back to the garden. I use it to bring the gnome to life, specifically with gardening. And with fingers crossed and bated breath, I wait and look at his little halo appear. This is the most mysterious and beautiful shot. His halo appears and everything just bursts to life. I am so happy. And then I forgot we're just going to get some more seed packets too. This is just ridiculous. But, you know, we'll deal with that another day. Our little box friend, the first one who joined us, is going to save us. I figure I might as well just do a little bit of planting and then everything will get fully grown by the time that we've woken up tomorrow. And then look who joins us, is Gert. He's come this first time we've seen him actually, and I somehow decide that asking him about fitness is a good idea. Again, he died from that, so he wasn't too fond of that conversation. But we hang out, we have a little chat, and he just talks about what a mess my house is and how we should probably clean up. I, however, realise that I need to make a cure for this gnome thing because I cannot face this happening again tomorrow. However, I do not have the skill to do that. I do remember that we have a dumpster though, so I start throwing all my rubbish in the dumpster because we can also dig for furniture. But it immediately overflows before I've even gotten all of the rubbish in. So I don't want to die from an overflowing dumpster. I'll leave that to the morning. And then a gnome appears, and I'm so unhappy with this that I immediately delete all of the gnomes on the lot. I cannot risk this happening again. I also sell off a bunch of other stuff that's on the lot because I figure like we're going to have some money now and we can start to build ourselves a proper little home for me and Becca, and we can see how we go from there. I do see what the time is though, and I think let's do that in the morning. So I climb into bed. I'm preparing to do my little outro monologue thing where I'm zooming out. Gert is having a clean of the shower, I think, is what he's doing. So yeah, I think that I'm about to end for the day and do my signings off, but no. Instead, I have to go see how much money we've made today because I'm just that kind of person. I decide to keep all of the magic beans because I figure it could be fun just to be a plant sim, even though we can now just hop over and ask a plant sim for a thing to turn us into one of them. But we can do it the old school way, and that'll be great. Anyway, look how much money we've got. We are rich. I mean, not quite. Tomorrow we'll be even more rich. And we get the whole collection just from one day of getting those rare packets. So I've now stayed up way too late and we're really going to battle tomorrow, but look how far we've come. We've got 4 gem trees. We're going to be so loaded, you guys. Anyway, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I had a really fun time playing. Hopefully you can have a fun time watching it too. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, 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 bye.